She came for me hard and had her feelings hurt. Maybe she just needs to lick her wounds.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? You have now tuned in to my Empire recap. Guys, make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and share this video wherever you like to share videos. So let's go ahead and get right into it. It was a lot going on in this episode, and it was pretty interesting. It was kind of like a mini movie type of thing. I guess why they have it called part 1 and part 2, because, you know, next part is going to be pretty much the season finale, which I'm like, oh no. But that means that Power is on the horizon. You guys know I'm a fan of Power, so I will definitely be watching. So be on the lookout for that. I think I saw a trailer that said June 25th. But we're going to talk about Empire for now, because I know some of y'all ain't Power fans, but it's all right. I still like y'all. All right, so now Cookie and her 2 sisters, they're at Leviticus. And it starts off where they were pretty much looking like ballers and shot callers, just walking in there like it was nothing, like taking over the scene. And I was like, okay, I see y'all. Lucious goes to kick out Cookie, and she just kind of like makes a big scene, but she knew what she was doing. It was all for a reason. Then we kind of take it back. We take it back in time. And Hakeem is like literally bugging out because, you know, his daughter's gone. Every time he sees a little baby, he kind of feels like it could be Bella. He wants his daughter back, and, you know, his emotions are kind of taking over him. Luscious and Guiliana, they meet with Charlotte, who we met. I think we met her last week. Charlotte, she's like the deputy type of thing, like, or the governor or something. She's the person that's in control, okay? If you don't go through her, then you're not going to be able to get your license to open up your bars or to open up whatever you need to open up, or your clubs or whatever. So she's definitely the in person to kind of know about having Inferno in Las Vegas. And she seems like a pretty tough cookie from what the conversations that they were having. And she's a Mormon, so she doesn't like drink. She doesn't even drink caffeine. Like, she, you know, it's like she's like pure, like it's nothing, you know. And they really didn't know about that. Another thing that happened was that Guiliana was like going into the safe, and Thursty was kind of looking at her, and he realized, like, you know, what is she doing? She's like, she got all this extra authority. Like, who told you that you would be able to do that? Mr. Lion doesn't like these things. And he mentions that because you already know Thursty is going to say what he wants to say. So she's just kind of like whispers in Lucious' ear and lets her know that she doesn't really like him and she doesn't trust him. And I'm like, but hold up, wait a minute. Who are you? First of all, he's been here throughout this whole time. He's the one that has gotten this man out of so many different jams, so many different problems that he's been having, and she's gonna come talking about I don't like him. And then this dude actually goes ahead like he's like pussy popped or something, and he goes and he freaking fires him, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Yeah, he just like was doing too much. I'm just like, she has like so much power over him, and I don't understand why, because she like literally came out of nowhere. I mean, even though they have a little bit of a history, she stole millions of dollars from him. Like, how could you just like kind of let that go? Like, I'm the type of person, you do something grimy to me and it don't even be like no $10 million, no millions of dollars or nothing like that, I ain't gonna forget it, and I ain't gonna forgive you. Come back into my life, let's kiss. It doesn't work like that. But I don't know, Lucious is losing it. So yeah, he told Cookie when he saw Cookie that she was pretty much banned and prohibited from entering Leviticus. And she's like, wait, hold on, like what's going on? Wait a minute. And he's just like, oh, him and Guiliana, they do not want her going there because they don't want her to mess up anything. Because this Charlotte lady, she just really wants to have everything like cut and dried, no gangsters, none of the mobsters, no thug life, anything into her city. And they're trying to keep it that way. And we know how sometimes Cookie can get a little crazy. Then Cookie calls a meeting with what she calls the resistance team, which was like, it consisted of like Shine and Hakeem and all those folks that she feels like she can trust. You know, people that have a pure disgust for Lucious when he gets like this. And she starts to kind of put them together, and she's about to tell him her plan, but then it just kind of started to crumble. Like, Shine just wasn't really feeling Andre, and Hakeem, he can't get over the fact that he don't have his baby. He don't want to worry or deal with none of this stuff. And who else? And Jamal was just like over it. So once they were gone, I mean, some of the other people that was there was kind of connected to them. So it just all tumbled down. So Thursty had to kind of hold the next meeting with another core group that would be the new resistance team, the A team. Like, this is the new team that's about to like really smash it. And this crew was like her sisters, her sister husband, and Becky. And as soon as they started doing this, they started playing the whole scenario of how they're going to get into the vault. You know, just kind of break the combination lock. And the person that was nominated to do this was Becky. I was just kind of like, this reminds me of something. And I was like, don't this remind me of Tower Heist? And yeah, we were like, yes, this does look like Tower Heist. Like, this is exactly what this reminds me of. Except Becky didn't have that little accent that she had, that little faux accent that she had during the movie. But yeah, it was a pretty similar little situation going on. I think that's why I was kind of getting movie vibes while I was watching it. Now, Lucious, he goes ahead and he summons his brother Tyreek out of wherever he had banned him to, because y'all know he ended up like sending him away. He almost freaking killed him and sent him away with a whole ton load of money. So he was able to find him though, even though he was off the grid. And now he asks for his help. You know, it's funny how you ban somebody and then you want their help, because now you realize that you kind of need them. So he asks him to try to help him find Bella, because he can't find her anyway, and he's been searching, checking. They went to CPS or whatever they call it, Child Protective Services. So yeah, I said it right, CPS, and they still haven't been able to locate her. So they got to take it to another level. So they do end up getting this dude that works for Child Protective Services, and I guess he must have signed some papers, forged some documents, and was able to get Bella to get out a little bit faster. So they ended up beating this dude up. It don't even look like they got much information from him at first, but then they did show a scene later on where Tyreek, he ended up going over to Mrs. Boudoir. What the hell's her name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Dubois. Miss Dubois. He went over to her house, you know, doing his little investigation stuff. And who was there? The nanny, or whoever the hell the girl was, with the baby. So now he knows for a fact that Mrs. Dubois was a part of this whole thing. And Angelo's family. I mean, Angelo at first, he didn't really know. But once he did know, he should have told Cookie what was going on. So he's just as guilty as his mother is for stealing somebody's baby. I mean, that's taking things to a whole nother level. I mean, all they did was kind of expose Angelo and mess up his campaign. You know, so now he won't be able to be governor. But, I mean, you steal somebody's baby. That's like a whole nother level. That's different. You deserve to get beat up for that. So now we get back to the scene where they show the three sisters and they was entering Leviticus. And they was coming in like, yes, honey, what? You can't tell me nothing, boo. Like, they was just walking in head held high, looking like superstars. And their plan now was, like I said, to kind of crack the safe. They were doing like meditation, and Becky was now mentally focused and ready to do this plan. Like, everybody was everywhere. It was just like so cool how they had it. I was like, they need to turn this into like another remake of Tower Heist, but just with them. Like, I would definitely watch it. So now Carol's thing was that she had to kind of make the security guard like kind of fall for her. You know, she had to use that charm. So that was the plan. After they got the code, because Carol's husband had Juliana kind of look while they had his glasses on. He had on like some spy cam glasses. They put the code in and they was able to see it. So now they knew the code to get into the door, which was behind the security guard. So like I said, Carol's plan was that she was supposed to, like, you know, seduce him real quick and give him the goodies, you know, distract him a little. Well, not give him the goodies, but distract him a little bit. And so that Becky would be able to kind of get around him and get in there, you know, and just do her magic with her little meditation that she got going on. But it wasn't working. And I'm like, what's going on? Is this dude like not attracted to females? But then when Carol kind of gave up and she was just like standing over like by the balcony area, they noticed that homeboy was actually checking out Becky. Watch out for the big girls. Watch out for the big girls. So that's exactly what was. So they noticed that and they let Becky know, like, I think he's actually into you, girl. And she's like, I ain't prepared for this. I ain't ready for this. Nope, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This is taking me out of my comfort zone. But they got her, they coached her, and she started talking to him, distracting him a little bit. And Carolyn was scared. Oh, she boxed out. Like, she was nervous to go in there and just kind of do all these things and try to get this thing open. She didn't have any confidence in herself. She just thought she was going to fail. So she ends up opening the door. And she's just like, no, I don't think I could do this. Like, she was ready to turn around like 3 times. But then she finally, she was like, all right, you're going to have to Mr. Miyagi me over here so that I can kind of get in focus. And she ended up getting back to them. And what did she have? She had the book, honey. She had the book that they needed, which was the reason why they did this whole thing, so that they can get the numbers and show how Giuliana was like a big fraud and holding back money and things like that. So the whole plan was for Cookie to go back to Charlotte to show her these things. And that's exactly what she did. She showed Charlotte these things, and Charlotte's just like, this is going to be hard for me to like try to work with them now because of all these things. Like, this could put her away for a long time. At the same time, honey, who comes walking in? Like clockwork, Mr. Lucious Lion. And he comes bringing in, like, I don't even know how much money he said, but he brought in a whole bag full of money, making it rain from here to like next week or longer. I mean, he just brought in the bag of money, and he was like, oh, this is for some crap there. I forgot what he said, but he said pretty much like, this was the money that I was supposed to give to you, and I have to make sure that you get it. And Cookie's just like, wow, like, I didn't think that Mormons could be paid off. And she took the money, she took the books, and she kind of like had them go on their merry way. But the good thing about it is that we know how much Andre right now, because he's not on his meds and he's starting to lose it, how much he kind of discussed his father even more. So he actually meets with her. He ends up doing the do with her. I don't know if it seems like he has like some kind of connection to her, or like they knew each other, or I don't know if it's just because of the attraction. But when he met with his mother later on, he told her, like, I know a little bit more about her, and I know that she's not loyal to Lucious. He also says that with her, she's good as long as there's no thugs or there's no like craziness going down in her city, in Las Vegas or whatever. So Cookie's like, you know what? Well, we gonna make it rain up in there like Tupac and Biggie. It's about to go down. So she's about to come up with a plan. I don't know what she's about to do, but I know it's about to get crazy. Oh, and another thing, Tyreek, he was about to go and tell what he saw with Miss Dubois and the baby and where he was. And, it's crazy because him and Lucious was actually starting to bond. Like, he's like, it's crazy how it took us this long to bond. But once Bella comes back, we're going to really have to just have a sit down and kind of change things. And you could tell, like, they was really starting to bond over this. They started to bond over beating up that guy and just, like, bleeding him blood, like kicking him and stuff like that. They started to get that brotherly bond. I guess that's all it took, was like an act of violence together. And now they're like really good. And all of a sudden, when he was about to say where he saw Bella, all of a sudden Lucius' mother comes out of nowhere and stabs this dude in the neck, and all you see is blood gushing out. He couldn't even get out the words. So I don't even think he's going to be able to tell Lucius exactly where it was that he saw Bella, which is the crazy part about it. So yeah, it's like, it's about to end right there. Like, but I feel like they're still going to be able to somehow, some way, because Lucius is not going to give up. So even if this kind of like, if he dies without being able to say the words, I feel like eventually he'll still be able to find out what's going on, or where Bella is. But yeah, y'all, the episode was crazy, and that was pretty much the gist of it. So unfortunately, like I said, next week is going to be the season finale, but we're going to be rocking it, y'all. So thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous. Oh, before I say my little exit, have y'all been watching Shots Fired? Because Shots Fired is actually pretty good. I mean, I haven't done any reviews on it. Maybe next season, we'll see. But it's a little bit harder when you're doing regular shows as opposed to reality shows, and you gotta remember all these names and stuff because they don't put it on the TV like how they do with the reality shows. But it's a pretty good show, y'all. Yeah, I think it's the season finale either this week or next week, but it's pretty good so far. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one.